aware? Are the American girlies aware of actual, like, what happens in the UK? I'm telling you this right now just to provide knowledge and context. James and Fuhad are probably the average UK black guy thinker on the better end. The average UK black guy thinker on the better end.
I think I'm a bit late to this conversation, but we are still going to have this conversation because I really want to hear what you guys think. This is a conversation that has been going on for like a week now. If you've been on TikTok and even on Instagram, because I've seen so many reposts on blogs on Instagram as well, I'm sure you might have come across this conversation because the two people involved are very big, very popular. A lot of black women love them. It all started when they went on Andrew Shaw's interview and they said some certain things and as well laughed at some certain things that Andrew Schultz said. It's a long video and I can no longer find it on their page on TikTok as expected because they are getting a lot of pushback who are seriously cancelling them right now. Andrew Schultz was saying some certain things about black women, saying what does it feel like to date them. He dated a white woman and a black woman before, which one do you prefer? And he was just, stating some stereotypes about black women and pushing the narrative of angry black women, how black women can be in relationship and how black women will stress you out in relationship and all of that. And they were literally laughing at it. In the other clip that I watched, it was as well saying some certain things about some tribes in Nigeria. If you don't know, Fuhad is from Nigeria and was saying, oh, who are the smart one? Are they the Igbo people? Who are the this? Are they the Hausa people? It was literally saying some certain disgusting things. And I think his reply is not the best. I was actually expecting more in his response to him saying that and literally throwing some tribe under the bus on that interview. But the part that has got a lot of people talking the most is the part where they said they came to Atlanta, they didn't see any bodies, and as well the part where they were literally laughing at Andrew Schultz throwing jabs at black women. I have put together the clips for you guys. Without wasting much time, let's just go right into it and come back to talk about it.
This is exactly what I've been talking about as a black American in the UK with the videos that you've seen me do. If you know who I am, you see my videos. They prove the point exactly what I've been saying. If you don't know who this is James Fahad. They're particularly a very good content creator itself, I would say. And I would love to do an interview with them in the future or anytime, or even if asked to be on that platform, because I feel like I could learn a lot from them. But I could also have this particular conversation into depth. This situation is, if you don't know what's going on, I'm going to play a clip so you can understand exactly what happened. They basically allowed somebody to go into their face while using, associating their particular platform and disrespect black women. And I just watch the clip.
What is the black girlfriend effect? This is
you don't know about this? Blow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got a buzz cut, like clean shape up. Glows up, bro.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time.
Again, I'm going to say I would love to sit down and have a conversation because I feel like I learned a lot from these guys. So please tag them in the comments. But this is one of the points that I've been saying. They're British. A lot of people, a lot of melanated people internationally don't really understand the game that's being played here in America. They don't realize how they're being used to affect and target black people internationally or melanated people internationally. They don't realize the people that we're in competition with or competing with on this particular stance itself. They think that the mentality of these other ethnicity people are simplistic or are basic to the way it was back then. They don't realize how, it's very much passive aggressive, how they are really doing stuff, on a strategical level, saying stuff and using you to do it at the same time. They dropped the apology video. I don't know if you guys want to see me react to the apology video. I could literally break that down. But like I said, I'm in London right now. I really would love to sit down and have a conversation with these guys. Not just about this. Like I said, they have a lot of information I would love to learn from them in general. But I think it'll be a good opportunity for black Americans and Brits to be able to sit down and have an intellectual conversation. Make it happen, chat.
Remember when I said the reason why I was struggling to give James and Fuhad the benefit of the doubt was because twice in the last 2 years, I've been invited to a panel discussion and taken major issue with that discussion. On the one that was taped, I withdrew my consent to it being published. And now Andrew Schultz has come out and confirmed.
They had shit that they asked to take out the episode. You know what they didn't ask to take out? Their producer or whatever was like, hey, we really think that's inappropriate. We'd like to take that out. That's very uncomfortable. Their fight and flight instinct really kicked in after the power down. But with that joke about the black women, nothing.
So the fact that I'm still here begging James and Fuhad to learn the lessons about why it's important to stand up against misogynoir and do better isn't because I have huge amounts of empathy for these guys and their careers, because after the way they've acted, I don't really like them. It's for two reasons. One, and this is a small one, it's because the idea that Andrew Schultz, a racist white guy, is able to destroy the careers of two prominent black people by being racist really doesn't sit right with me. Two, and this is the main one, while I completely agree with Francesca Ramsey, the person behind I Never Thought the Leopards Would Eat My Face, when she says that if you're not a black woman, it's not your job or right to accept their apology on the behalf of black women, it is our job as men to try and get other men to behave better on issues of sexism, and if James and Fuhad are cancelled among progressive circles, that only makes it more likely they'll go down the Tate pipeline. And now that we know that James and Fuhad essentially gave the green light to that podcast going out as is, how do we, as black people in those toxic spaces, avoid situations like this? And I think Marvin Harrison nailed this.
Whenever there is a podcast from what we would call the culture, from the black community, representing black people or has black people as the faces of it, the second that they become scalable and become huge, they are surrounded by whiteness, like surrounded. Immediately, the people who own their agencies, management companies, people are probably editing it, probably managing their social media. And because they're not surrounded by people who understand those things, it ultimately means that like clips like this can come out, conversations like that can happen without being interrupted, because there's things that they could have done in the moment of it happening. Even if they didn't want to challenge it right there and then when it happened live, but they could have had someone in their team go back and be like, make sure that doesn't come out because it's not okay and it's not appropriate. Then in this moment, they would have been able to say, actually, we challenged it afterwards, and we asked them not to put it out, and they did. And then it actually removed some of that accountability. That's a thing that could have done. And this is why I think it's incredibly important that like employing amazing black women, having diverse teams means that these types of things just don't happen. If they do happen, somebody catches it and someone speaks loud enough to make sure it doesn't come out.
So as I said before, I think these guys are politically clueless. They don't understand the impact of the issues they discuss, and so they don't understand how harmful some of the stuff they say can be. But if they had people around them that did understand that, I think they'd do better.
Black women are not difficult to love, difficult to handle, or difficult to be with. We're difficult to play with, and that's where y'all get it confused. We don't let y'all play with us, and we don't let y'all play in our faces. Y'all want them women that's docile, that's gonna lay down, let you do whatever y'all want to do to her, and we don't allow it. Black women have no issues being submissive and being kind and being loving when y'all allow us to be so. But if you don't understand the psyche and the psychological damage that goes into the mass incarceration, you don't understand that the black women have had to spearhead households, so thus it makes us have to take on roles that we normally should not have to take on. But see, y'all so dumb and uneducated, y'all can't link mass incarceration to women having to take on roles more than what we should because of the mass incarceration. The whole goal is to get the black men out of the house. That's the whole goal, is to get the black man out of the house, and you chomping your veneers and you laughing and smiling and kikiing, doing the white man's job in front of a white man at the hand of the white man, sitting here talking about how difficult black women are and how we complain and how we complain. What are you talking about? Y'all so damn dumb. Y'all are so dumb. It doesn't even matter if anybody said we are not difficult to handle. And even if we are, so what? Y'all made us that way. Now what? Black women carry everything. We do literally everything. We spearhead everything from movements to trends. It would be none of y'all without us. Literally, y'all wouldn't be here without a black woman. Biologically, nobody will live this earth without a black woman. Yet, we the only ones that got to prove to everybody why we are worthy of love and we deserve better. Ain't nobody proving to y'all nothing. We're not proving to y'all nothing. Say what you want to say, do what you want to do, but keep our names out y'all mouths. We don't care if y'all like us. Of course y'all don't like us. Y'all don't like y'all mammies. Of course y'all don't like us. Make sure you put some respect on our names and go about your way. Leave our names out y'all mouths. We don't be doing nothing. All black women do is sit here, look good, set trends, and y'all be so worried about us. Why y'all so mad? Go get you the white woman that you want and leave us alone. You don't have to put us in places that we don't need to be. We already everywhere. Look around you. Look around you and tell me you can't contribute all the good things in this life to black women. Stop playing with me. We can't even tell y'all. Y'all see how anti-black that is? Listen to yourself. Black women can't even tell y'all what we like and what we don't like before y'all start talking about we complaining. It's anti-blackness. It's anti-blackness. period. Andrew Schultz, let me watch my mouth. Andrew Schultz, Fuhad, whatever his name is, and James, y'all know where y'all can go. And I'm gonna keep it like that because my friend keep getting on me for saying certain stuff, and I need to stop saying certain stuff, but I want to say certain things.
So everyone's been talking about this James and Fuhad and Andrew Schultz video clip, and there's one aspect that I want to do my best to articulate. I don't know how good I'm gonna do it, so if you think you can do it better, please stick to it and try to elaborate, but let's get into it nonetheless. So I've noticed that when some black men get into these high/white spaces with white men, there is this pattern or phenomenon where these black men think that if they are able to excuse and laugh away anti-blackness and blatant racism, in exchange for their dismissal of it, they receive the illusion of having the same access to power that these white men have in these spaces. And you know what? I'm not even going to limit this behavior just to black men, because Tiffany Haddish just crashed a New York Fashion Week fashion show, all under the guise of attempting to access white acceptance and white power. So it's more of a coonery thing than it is just a black male thing. But there is this coonery behavior of black people when they access and enter these white spaces where they feel like, if I just laugh away this anti-blackness, if I just laugh away this racism, if I just shuck and jive, then I'm more inclined to be viewed by these white people as an equal and a peer and not somebody to fear. And I think this behavior is rooted in some kind of belief of an exchange. Like, you get to laugh at my blackness, and in exchange, I get access to the same rooms and power that you have access to. Whole time, there's never really a true exchange. Because while these white people in these high spaces are laughing at your blackness and using you as a butt of the joke, you will never get the full exchange of receiving the level of power and access they have because you're not white. So while you're thinking that you're exchanging, what's really happening is that you're just being the butt of their joke and everyone's laughing at you, and you're really gaining nothing in the end. Because while, yes, Andrew Schultz was shitting on black women, he was also shitting on the very black men he was talking to. And the fact that I don't think those black men fully see that is very telling.
Okay, I want people to understand something about this James and Fuhad situation. Now, before I address the situation and why it's so problematic, I want to first acknowledge the fact that I am a biracial woman, and I do hold privilege in terms of how I am viewed and treated. Okay? So now that that's out of the way, as someone who is a preference, this whole James and Fuhad situation, number one, is not shocking, it's not surprising, and it's not groundbreaking, because this is very common amongst black men in terms of their pathology and how they have this deep desire to be accepted by those who are deemed and seen as more superior than them, because it will help eradicate and erase something about themselves that they dislike greatly, and that is their blackness. And I knew this at a very young age. Black men would put me up on a pedestal, tell me that, oh, you know, you're so gorgeous, you're so beautiful, and then they would proceed to talk down, disrespect, and neglect black women. And what I do normally is I let them talk, I let them get it out of their system, but the look on their faces after they talk shit, and after I tell them that the very woman that brought me into this earth, the very woman whose womb I was attached to, is a black woman. And oddly enough, I'm no longer their preference. Because I came from a black woman. I came from the very women that they disregard, disrespect, and neglect. So by them going on the Andrew Schultz podcast, right, which is ran by a white man, as we all know, Andrew Schultz is white, they believe that if they go on these podcasts that are ran and operated by white men, or if they go into white spaces, it will give them a sense of superiority belonging and acceptance, right? And that these white people will co-sign their anti-blackness when in reality, those very white people are exposing them for their self-hate and their anti-black rhetorics. And what these white people will do is they'll feed them, right? They'll feed them these stereotypes that they perceive to be true about these black men. And what these black men do is prove their point. It's like their temperature's being tested. So these black men think that they're gaining access to power, when in reality, these quote unquote powerful people are just turning them into a laughing stock. Had they have disparaged the white women, right? The very white women that they love and uphold and put on a pedestal, they would have gotten checked. And matter of fact, I'm also going to use Tiffany Haddish as an example. You guys all saw what she did at New York Fashion Week. She thought that by walking across that runway after being provoked and poked by the Hiltons, that it would give her some kind of superiority and access and be closer in proximity to those superior people, them being the white people. When again, it made her look like a fucking laughing stock. Now she's being laughed at. The internet's dragging her, as they should. Because any person with sense, with self-respect, and with boundaries would go, I'm not doing that. That's fucked up. I'm not a clown. By James and Fuhad getting on this podcast and just overall their behavior, it's really a defense mechanism. While they may be laughing, but deep down, they know that they are inferior. The people in these white spaces, they know that too. This is all nothing new to me, especially being biracial with a black mom. I gotta tell you, nothing makes me happier and more satisfied than seeing the looks on these black men's faces when they find out that my mother is a part of the very group of women that they hate. I know I'm y'all's preference. And this pathology, it's not shocking, and it will never be a surprise to me. And don't even get me started with that fake ass apology that James and Fuhad issued. It's above me. The sooner you realize this, the easier it will be for you to, one, not tolerate that kind of disrespect, and the easier it will be for you to stand up for yourself. They could have easily just said, hey man, watch your mouth. You shouldn't say that. That's disrespectful. But they didn't. They proceeded to laugh. And by laughing, they're showing that they agree with what Andrew Schultz said about black women, and that they also believe that they're inferior and cannot stand up for themselves. And if you don't stand up for yourself, you're gonna fall for anything. And we just saw that.
I used to watch, James and Fahad's content, and I never expected them to trend, how they're currently trending, for pretty much a very interesting reason. If you've not seen it, it's a segment of them having other two men in their podcast where obviously they created a safe space where these two other men who happen to not be black were speaking down and perpetuating stereotypes towards black women, saying that they're aggressive, they're temperamented, they might slap you, and so many things that again is associated, with again a stereotypes that you would think that a podcast that has two, men of color would actually use that situation to correct these two men that was making these claims. But no, they participated and enabled and continued this conversation and allowing those two men to get away with what they said because, again, they never cared. Which I'm so confused because these are the same men that will say that they love black women, they respect black women, but then will allow other people to speak down towards black women and not say anything about it. It's just very disappointing, but I'm not surprised.
What do you guys think about what they all said? And what do you think about the whole Fuad, James, and Andrew Schultz situation? The thing is, I feel like this man literally set them up. Let's even start from the apology that they made that made the entire situation even worse. They decided to, release an apology video, and in that apology video, it kind of seems like a lot of people believe that Fuhad was struggling not to laugh in the apology video. A lot of people believe that apology video was not sincere. They just want to do it just so, let's give the people what they want, and maybe they are going to be quiet about this. As a black man, people expect, especially black women, expect more from them when they are in a certain environment or in a certain place where they are literally cheating on black women. Like saying those things about black women and just being there laughing, fully well, a lot of the support they get on their podcast is from these people. Like they buy your show, they pay ticket to come watch them, to come listen to them. They are real supporters. If you know black women, if they support you, they are going to support you real hard. This is not even news at all. I feel like they are big podcasters, and when you are going on an interview with someone, I think you should be able to do a little bit of a research. The person you're going to meet, and there have been so many controversy about Andrew Schulz being a racist online. Like it's literally everywhere on the media. It's a very easy access information that they could have gotten, and when they get there and they see him pulling those strings, they should have been able to control themselves. I was watching the clip and seeing where he was hitting on Nigerians and saying some certain things about Nigerians. I could see the reaction on James, that he felt a bit uncomfortable, and the way he was directing back whatever it is Andrew Schulz was saying to him, that it is his own opinion, like according to him. So let me hear what you guys think about this whole conversation, because they are literally getting cancelled. Gig is, it was Andrew Schulz that said these nasty things, and they only laughed, and almost like their entire career is crumbling. Like what they have used their blood and sweat to build is crumbling because they laugh at a white man's joke. So it's almost like a setup, and I agree to what the second stage is talking about. Even agreeing to go on Andrew Schulz's interview is like something that is born to fail from the beginning, like something that is set to actually affect them negatively. Let me hear what you guys think about this whole thing. This person said, remember when they called them out for preferring white women? Another thing that happened was when they posted the apology video and people started reacting to how Fuhad was, struggling to not to laugh when James was the one just saying everything, and the apology video was just like saying, oh yeah, through like just adding a bit of a thing to whatever it is James was saying in the apology video. People clocked and said this is not genuine, and they deleted the apology video and even went as far as deleting first few videos that they had posted when they were just starting out, where they were saying some certain things about black women. So he actually did get worse. This creator now replied and said, did you see the hot videos that were dug up from them talking about how a white woman, one of them was with, wishes she was black? Person said, the truth is other races feel comfortable because our own built careers off of it, being disrespectful towards black women. Another one said, and I agree with that. Another one said, James and Fuad are grown men. Let's stop infantilizing them. They made a decision because that is how they felt at their core. They are more worried about their back. When they posted the apology video, Andrew Schulz made another video literally reacting to their apology video. And in that video, he stated that there are some clips that they told them not to add, but they never said nothing about where they were laughing at the black women joke. So they believe they are cool with it. This one said, I feel like it was a trap and they fell for it. This is the comment that I believe, because these are big podcasts that a lot of people like. Like it's so hard for you to scroll on TikTok in one day and not see edits of them, and people even saying, oh, they look alike. Please, who is James? Who is Fuhad? I like this one. Like you will clearly see an edit of them. People literally love them, and there are so many support, and there are so many black women who support them. So I can get where this reaction is coming from. This one said, Andrew Schulz did what most black Americans expect him or anyone like him to do. He did his research on them before they got there. They should have done the same. He set them up and they fell for it, because these are big podcasters. And if you are going on an interview with someone, you should even know or check if this person is cancelled in the first place before you know, or just for you to have an idea of the environment that you're setting your feet into and what to expect. And then you can tell if you want to go or if you don't want to be there. So I totally agree with this person, because there are two black men doing well, their podcast is going viral, they are hosting shows, people are buying tickets to come watch them, and this man literally said something that is now bringing their career down. It is really devastating. Another person said, it seems to me people were waiting to cancel them, like the way everyone turned on them. Yo, give them another chance. This one said, Black American women have stopped accepting disrespect. They bought tickets to their shows. They are finished in America. Another one said, the thing is, why do people always need to talk about Black women? That's the thing. And make fun about them. Black women already get hate from Black men and other races, and it is annoying. You all don't like Black women, but talk about us. Like, it's crazy. Like, so much talk for the people they claim not to like. So much talk for the people they claim that they cannot date. So much talk people they claim is giving men receding hairline. So much talk for the people they say are so stressful to handle. Like, can they just leave Black women out of the conversation? Let me hear what you guys think about this whole thing. If you have been following the conversation, let me hear your take. I thought to bring it on here because I know I miss out on this, all thanks to the flu. But yeah, I'm back, you guys, and I will see you guys in the next episode.